Today I'm here with Aaron Witcher, who is a French major, and he has willingly offered to answer some questions about his major. So let's go ahead and start there. How did you decide to major in French?
Well, for me it was kind of a progression because I'm actually a double major. My first major was English, and then afterwards I chose to major in French, but at first it was a minor and then it turned into a major. But I guess how I decided was it made the most immediate sense to me to major in French because nearly a third of English is derived from French, so while studying French I would presumably ameliorate my English and just get a better grasp on English grammar and diction and things like that. But then the more in depth I got into my studies, the more I realized that language and culture are kind of inextricably woven together, and it's kind of, as you study a language, you're concurrently studying the culture, and I became fascinated with French culture and really any foreign culture for that matter. Also, studying another culture, it really does challenge your modes of thinking because we all have our biases, our prejudices, and our preconceptions, and by studying another culture you see that the way you do things, the way you think things ought to be done isn't necessarily the way they're always done. Other people can do things differently.
Awesome. So you've received many awards, and you continually stand out as an exceptional French student. So have there been any accomplishments that really stand out to you as particularly meaningful so far?
Yes, being accepted to the University of Quebec is probably my most meaningful accomplishment, just because I think it'll be the consummation of my French studies, at least on the undergraduate level, because instead of just learning in theory what other cultures are like, I'll finally be immersed in another culture and language, and I'll get to participate in that as much or as well as I can.
So what kinds of opportunities have you had here at IPFW, but outside the classroom, that have expanded your knowledge of your major or led to a greater understanding of it?
Well, through the French Club, I've met several Francophone speakers, a gentleman from Spain who was teaching here. He was teaching French, but I guess that once again introduced me to different cultural perspectives. And also, by taking French courses, I met my best friend who's from Belgium, and we've had many conversations about politics, just ideologies, different ways of life, religious views, just you name it, we've had a conversation about it, and it's interesting just to compare cultures. So I guess that's probably one of the most valuable opportunities that I've had, is just to interact with people from different cultures and kind of get a more global outlook, I suppose.
Yeah. So tell us about your future plans. Besides, you've gotten accepted to the University of Quebec, so what are some other future things for you, Aaron?
Well, I'm hoping that at the university I can get involved in several clubs. I'd like to be politically active while I'm up there, just because it's such an interesting political climate there right now. I don't know if you're familiar with what's going on, but since spring break of last year, the university's been on strike because they tried to raise tuition. So there's been lots of marches, there's been strikes, there's been rallies. There's also been controversial laws passed against student strikes. So it's just a really interesting political climate, so I'd like to get involved there. As far as my future plans go, though, I'm not sure at this point. I know I'd like to go to graduate school at some point, but I'd also be interested in learning other languages, Spanish first and foremost after French. So I may come back and get another undergraduate in Spanish, or I may pursue graduate school for French literature. But
wow.
We'll see.
Great. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for allowing us to interview you.
Sure.